Hello, it's Fred and Sheila McCoy,
Hi.
and we are not at the Hatfield McCoy Museum. However, our websites are hatfieldsmccoysmuseum.com, or the easiest one to remember is fredmccoy.com, and it takes you to our web site. Now, on our website, it's got all kinds of information on our collection, on the history of the feud, on our books. It's got all of our contact information. It's got our phone numbers, it's got our emails, our physical addresses. There's all kinds of ways to contact us. Now, this is just going to be a 2-minute video. I had a person contact me earlier, and they were questioning the Cap Hatfield story, and they was asking if we had Shep Hatfield's death certificate. No, we don't. Let me explain how people sometimes read into things, because we don't need Shep Hatfield's death certificate. We are relaying what Devil Anse Hatfield's great-grandson, Coleman C. Hatfield, said. I don't know how Shep Hatfield died. I'm telling you by the story that Coleman C. Hatfield said. I think it's on page 265 of his book. I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that. But Tell of the Devil, Coleman C. Hatfield, he says that his dad, Coleman A. Hatfield, which would have been Shep's brother, said that Shep starved to death when he was 7 years old. And according to Shep's tombstone, he would have been about 7 years old when he died. So, once again, the reason our comments are cut off on the pages is so we don't have to debate. We don't have to leave it open for speculation. These people's had 150 years to spread the stories that they have spread. We've had 2 months to try to make some corrections over 150 years, and the stories, they just get more outrageous by the day. We're correcting them daily. And you got a stack of videos to go out. It's just never ending. We're working on it continuous. Let me put it like this, like I told this person, if we're wanting, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. Now, the person asked, well, how do I do that? Well, you've got their email address there. You've got our snail mail address. Send us documents. If I'm wrong on something, send it to me. I'm not so smart that I don't make mistakes. So I know that I'm open to mistakes. And that's why I say prove me wrong. Surely I'm not right on everything. Surely I've made some mistakes here and there, but you're going to have to prove them to me. Once again, I don't want to see this arguing back and forth that says, well, I heard, or this one told me that. Now, let me explain something to everybody. On this Cap Hatfield story, on Cap Hatfield especially, Devil Anse's youngest son was Tennis Hatfield. Now, Tennis Hatfield's the one that burnt the home place down for insurance. He was the sheriff of Mingo County at one time, a club owner. Tennis had some history. Tennis was a self-made man. Now, Tennis had a son named Jack Hatfield, Handsome Jack. His tombstone's up right behind Devil Anse's on the Hatfield Cemetery. Jack Hatfield had a son named Stephen Hatfield. And Stephen Hatfield is one of the main sources of my information on the West Virginia Hatfields. Now, if you can prove Stephen wrong, prove him wrong. But you're going to have to prove him wrong, because I'm going to tell you something about Stephen Hatfield. He's like Fred McCoy. Stephen didn't care if he was a Hatfield or McCoy, or both. Stephen would tell you like it was. And Stephen told me stories, and other people that's been with me when we've been there to visit him. He's the one that took me and another Hatfield to Cap Hatfield's grave and showed us where it was at, up from the home place and not on beside Devil Anse. He's the one that told us that Cap did not want to be buried on the Hatfield cemetery. He wanted his own cemetery. He didn't want to be buried up there with his father. They had some hostilities like all families do. Families have hostilities through life. That don't mean everybody hates each other. It don't mean they love each other. It just means they didn't want to be buried next to each other. So while this person says, well, I heard from the family, well, some of the family that people's hearing from now is from Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia. And these are stories that, goodness sakes, look at the Hubert Bay McCoy story. Research the Hubert Bay McCoy story. It's one of the first videos that we've done, and it's got the least amount of views that we've got on any video. And it's the easiest one to prove, easiest one to look at. There's a radio interview you can listen to. I wish people would do a story on this. Let's see if somebody else can do a story on Hubert Bay McCoy and what went on there, and let's see if it's one-sided, swayed one side or the other. Or let's see if they tell the truth. The research is there. It's in the newspapers. It's in the Mingo County. Go to the Mingo County Courthouse and get the Hubert Bay McCoy. Get the Allen Hatfield. Allen Hatfield, the police chief in Maitland, West Virginia in 1947, he killed Hubert Bay on February the 17th of 47. And February, he was indicted. May, he stood trial, was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter, sentenced to 5 years, hard labor at Moundsville State Prison in West Virginia. It's all there in Mingo County Courthouse. A great story for somebody to do. But it's definitely going to go against the West Virginia Hatfields and some of Devil Ance's hot air great-grandchildren. That's told stories that's totally fabricated and false and slanderous against other people. I don't care if it's Hatfield or McCoy. Tell it. But let's tell the truth. If I'm not telling the truth, prove me wrong. Send it to me. If I don't cover it, if you send me documents and we check them out and they're authentic, and I don't make a correction to that video, then by George, call my hand on it. You got YouTube channels, but we'll correct it if you can prove us wrong. You can't just say, well, I heard this from the family, or I heard that from the family, because I heard from the family. I heard from Stephen Hatfield. You know, the majority, there's one Hatfield back there now that asked him who Stephen Hatfield was, he didn't even know. Well, it's your cousin. It's your cousin. It's Tennis Hatfield's grandson. And these people don't know who each other are because they moved away. Guess who never moved away from Logan County? Guess who never moved away? Who lived there? Who talked to his grandmother, which was Tennis's wife? Who talked to people growing up? Who used to take care of the Hatfield cemetery and put the lock on the gate to keep the four-wheelers off? It's easy. You can go to the Wilson guy there at the Logan Banner. He knows them well. I forget Dwight. I think his name's Dwight Wilson at the Logan Banner. Ask him about Stephen and Debbie Hatfield. We didn't make this story up about Shep. This is the story that a gentleman, another author, so-called author, wrote me about in an email years ago, and it was in Coleman C. Hatfield's book. Coleman C. Hatfield said that his, would have been his uncle, his dad's brother, starved to death of malnutrition, nothing to eat, when Cap was on the run, and Cap never forgave or got mad at Devil Ance over that. And Stephen says he never forgave him over it. He's not buried on the cemetery. Stephen was right on that. I wasn't there, but I trust Stephen, what Stephen said, more than I would anybody else in the family up there. That's just moving back to put businesses in. That's just now coming back to market or sell books or do stories. Stephen lived it. don't mean to be mean. I hope I'm not being mean.
No,
I just want
fine.
to clarify. Again, we've had 150, we've had 65 years of hearing these stories over and over and over, and they get more outrageous by the day. We're seeing the wrong tombstones identified for certain people and stating that they're this person and they're that person, and they're not. If we don't, we can't keep doing this and ever get anywhere. They said, why don't you correct the History Channel? We ain't got time. We ain't even had time to start on our books and go over the corrections that we want to do. Because every time we turn on YouTube, here's another video of incorrect information. Anyway, all of our contact information is on our website, fredmccoy.com. Email us, text us. And if we've made a mistake, we'll correct it. First of all, listen to the videos. Second of all, go back and watch all the videos. There's 70 videos on there. 70 videos. Go back and watch them all. Go back and watch the first one of Shep. Go back and look at the book where we're talking about Coleman C. Hatfield in his book and what was said. Look at the emails that was sent to me from Thomas Dodson. Where Thomas, the name of his book is Correcting History or something like that. But yet he tells me in an email, I wish Coleman C. hadn't have put that in his book because it makes Devil Ants look bad. Well, if your book is called Correcting History, let's don't care who it's about. Devil Ants, Preacher Ants, Randall McCoy, Fred McCoy, it don't matter who it is. If we're correcting it, let's tell the truth, people. And if I'm not telling the truth, it's not intentional. It's because I've overlooked something or misspoke. And if I have, prove me wrong. I've asked from the beginning, prove me wrong. I'm a 40-year police officer. There's proof. You got to show proof when you want to prove your case. If you want to convince me that this is not what I thought it was, you're going to have to show me proof, not an opinion. Thanks for listening. She's got some more videos coming out, and just keep watching. And we'll try to correct as much as we can. If we make a mistake, correct us, and we'll apologize, and we'll put your name on there as the owner.
And correct the mistake that we made.
And we will correct it, of course.
Yeah.
We never said Shep Hatfield we never said we had Shep Hatfield's death certificate. We never said that we said he starved to death or died of malnutrition. We didn't say that. We said in Coleman C. Hatfield's book, Coleman C. Hatfield makes that reference. That's Devil Ants's great-grandson. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.
Please like and subscribe. Thank you.
Just a side note, when we got off there, Sheila said you was loud. First of all, we're in a small room here. We've got our house up for sale and everything's empty, so everything echoes. Second of all, I do realize I'm probably loud sometimes. I went in the Marine Corps when I was 17 years old. Between the military and the next 40 years as a police officer and a police firearms instructor, Sheila and I are also two of the first instructors in the state of Kentucky certified after carry concealed law passed in 1996. So we've shot guns all of our lives, and I can't hear real good unless you're talking about me. I'm joking. But I can't hear real good, and I think that tends to make me talk louder than I do. Plus, I do get, as Sheila calls it, passionate. So that doesn't help my speech. But just because I'm loud doesn't mean I'm mad. I just want to say what I want to say, and I'm probably talking louder than I should, and I don't know it. But thanks for watching.
Bye.